You spend hours sweating in the gym, pushing your physical limits, only to look in the mirror and see a reflection that hasn't changed. This lack of progress is often compounded by a landscape of conflicting advice, restrictive fad diets, and marketed shortcuts that ignore basic logic. The human body functions as a mechanical system governed by a measurable set of biological rules. By balancing a 5-part biological equation, we can align daily habits with the body's specific requirements for energy use and tissue repair. The first variable is thermodynamics. If we view the body as an engine and food as its fuel, storing fat is simply the result of providing more energy than the engine consumes. This scale illustrates the mathematical baseline for weight loss. By maintaining a 500-calorie daily deficit, you require the body to draw from its stored energy, resulting in a loss of approximately 1 pound per week. To increase the rate at which the engine burns that fuel, we have to look at the second variable, strength training. This graph compares energy expenditure across activities. Cardio creates a significant spike during the session, but the energy burn drops immediately once movement stops. Strength training follows a different curve. The energy expenditure remains elevated long after leaving the gym, continuing through the resting phase. Muscle is a metabolically expensive tissue. The body must expend a constant stream of energy simply to maintain it. Increasing your muscle mass raises your resting metabolic rate, which means the body utilizes more energy even during periods of total inactivity. Once the engine is primed to burn energy, it needs the correct materials to rebuild itself. This introduces the third variable, protein. Lifting weights creates microscopic tears in your muscle fibers. This flowchart shows how dietary protein provides the amino acids that act as building blocks, filling those microscopic gaps to repair and thicken the tissue into a stronger end result. Protein also has a high thermic effect, meaning the body uses more energy to digest it than it does for fats or carbohydrates, while also helping you feel full for longer. However, the actual construction of this tissue doesn't happen while you are lifting weights. It happens while you are asleep. When you receive less than 6 hours of sleep, the body's internal environment shifts. The system releases cortisol, a stress hormone signaling the body to preserve resources. Reaching the 7 to 8 hour threshold allows the body to clear this hormone and prioritize repair. Sleep is a biological requirement for physical change. Without it, the hormonal environment necessary for growth simply isn't present. If the body lacks the raw materials from protein or the recovery time provided by sleep, the effort spent in the gym cannot be fully realized. When we look beyond the daily cycle, we encounter the final requirement of the equation, consistency. Because cellular repair and muscle growth are gradual processes, the rapid changes promised by 30-day challenges often fall outside the bounds of human biology. This progress curve shows how the equation works in practice. While your weight may fluctuate daily due to water or digestion, the long-term trend line reflects the underlying math of your deficit and activity. Success depends on the intersection of these 4 factors: a caloric deficit, resistance training, adequate protein, and sufficient sleep. Mastering these variables provides a framework for physical change that relies on the body's internal mechanics rather than the influence of fitness trends. Which of these 5 variables has been the most difficult for you to maintain? Let us know in the comments.